Hi, I'm Matthew David Fritz, and I wanted to share with you something concerning Abraham in Genesis. Abraham, we know, is the father of faith, but one notable characteristic of Abraham is that he lived the life of the altar and the tent. He lived the life of the altar, meaning he was absolutely for God's purpose. All that he had, all that he was absolutely for God and offered up to God. But also, he lived the life of the tent, which means he was a stranger. He was a sojourner on this earth. He was longing for a better country. And this depicted his life and his experiences as he journeyed. So I wrote this song concerning Abraham's journeys, being that of the altar and the tent. And this song is called Abraham's Song, or The Altar and the Tent.
And to all those who would bless you, I will bless. And to all those who would curse you, know that they will then be cursed. For the blessing of the families of the earth. When we set out from Haran, I was 75. We left our homeland never to return. And I journeyed toward the mountain, pitched my tent above the plain, built an altar and I called upon his name. If I die in faith to realize all God's promises unsent, my confession is I live the life of the altar and the tent. In my journey we came to a place my tent had been. Though the tent had moved, the altar still remained. With my brother's son along the way, a conflict did arise. How can we as brothers live with any strife? If you take the left, I'll take the right. Choice is not for what my life is meant. My confession is I live the life of the altar and the tent. Lift up your eyes, look from where you stand, to the north and south, the west and toward the east. Rise up and walk throughout this land. All its length and breadth will give you and you'll see. If I long for what I left behind, how could my heart be content? Shame is not in those who live the life of the altar and the tent. In my fullness of age, God gave me a son. It was the only heavenly promise I received. Yet the altar still awaited, since one's faith is never done. Only God supplies the boldness to believe. If by faith I never compromise, sage design and providence, God my portion would sustain my life of the altar and the tent. If I long for what I've left behind, how could my heart be content? Shame is not in those who live the life of the altar and the tent. If you take the left, I'll take the
This is not for what my life is.